With all of the incredible beaches across Mexico, is Acapulco one of the best? Is it worth your time visiting? Is it safe? Is the water clean? You're gonna find out all these things today on this episode of Yo Soy Will. In the 1950s, Acapulco was one of Mexico's hottest beaches. People in the United States, famous actors, celebrities, you had the Kennedy family, Elvis Presley, all buying property in Acapulco. It was the place to be. But as the popularity began to rise and more people flooded the beaches, over the decades to come, Acapulco was overridden with crime, corruption, and a ton of issues, which has led to the decline of the city and all of the beaches in the area over the past couple of years. One of my best friends in Mexico, Chapa, and his amazing family have a great house overlooking the bay of Acapulco, and he's invited me 2 times this year. So I've been lucky enough to go and check out the beach twice, and so I want to give you guys my insights and knowledge on whether Acapulco is worth you going to or not. Alright, so first off, is Acapulco safe to visit? I'm sure most of you have heard of all the crazy news and all the narco trafficking and crime that has taken place in Acapulco over the last years. But to be honest, when I was there, I never felt in danger one time. I stayed in the tourist areas, obviously. So I never ventured off into sketchy areas, which is where that crime takes place. But if you stay in the tourist areas and you mind your own business, you're not going to be in any danger, I don't think. With that said, checking out this graph on Hikers Bay, Acapulco ranks worse than almost every colonia of Mexico City in the crime index, safety index, and level of crime. And so in comparison to Mexico City, apparently Acapulco is significantly dangerous as a city as a whole. But again, I never felt in danger. I think you just need to be careful, especially in the nights. A lot of the time people are going to Acapulco to get crazy and party. But when those parties end late in the night, you need to be careful getting home. And that's one of the things that I don't like about Acapulco is there's no Uber in Acapulco. And so they have these sketchy beetle bug taxis that take you around everywhere. But especially if you don't speak Spanish, there's gonna be issues. And I've heard some sketchy things about the taxis at times. And so that's just one of the things I don't like. I didn't have any problems with the taxis, we managed, but I prefer Uber as always. So in summary, I felt like Acapulco was relatively safe, and I think you'll be fine too. And secondly, is the ocean in Acapulco safe to swim? Is it clean? Now, according to Mexican News Daily, Playa Hornos y Playa Suave are 2 of the dirtiest beaches in all of Mexico. They have the most amount of fecal matter recorded of all the beaches, and so that's pretty disgusting. Now, I didn't go to either of those 2 beaches, but I went to Playa Condesa, which is right next to those other 2, and to be completely honest, in the streets leading up to the beach, even there was some sitting water that was smelly and gross. It wasn't the cleanest area, and before I read this article, I actually was swimming in the water, and again, it's not the cleanest in the world, but I didn't think it was that big of a problem. So bottom line is, you can swim. I didn't have anything crazy happen to me, but honestly, it's not the cleanest water. It doesn't look the best. I mean, from far away, the water looks stunning. The views of Acapulco are unbelievable, but when you get up and close on the beach, in comparison to the other places I've been in Mexico, Cabo, Cancun, these beaches, specifically Condesa in that area, were dirty and weren't really my favorite here in Mexico. Which leads me to my next point of which beaches to visit in Acapulco. So as I mentioned, I went to Playa Condesa, which is what you see in the majority of the pictures when you search Acapulco in that beautiful bay, and that's that big tourist zone. But my 2 favorite beaches that on top of that I went to was Playa Diamante, First off, a long strip of ocean and beach about 20 minutes away from that main tourist zone. You got bigger waves. It's real ocean. It's not necessarily that bay like Playa Condesa is. But they got beach clubs all over. The sand, again, isn't that white sand that you see in Cancun or in some other places. But again, I like the Diamante Beach more than, you know, the Playa and those other ones in the tourist areas. Lots of space, lots of fun. We were playing soccer, we were ordering food, drinking, tons of stuff to do on the beach. It kind of looks more of like an Atlantic Ocean Florida beach, to be honest, like that. But I enjoyed it a lot, and that is the first beach that I would recommend that you go to if you're going to Acapulco. One place that most people probably have never heard of, Pie de la Cuesta, and that is about 30 minutes away from that main tourist area. And the main difference is that it's very, very chill, muy tranquilo. If you're trying to get away from the craziness of everything that's happening in Acapulco, like, this is the place. We went to this little beach club that had a hotel and food, and really it was cheaper than Acapulco. No one there. The waves are massive. Like, we could barely swim in the water because these swells were so big. But if you're looking for more of a chill experience, just to get in the sun with the long beach, I mean, this beach is miles long. I really recommend going to Pie de la Cuesta. I think it's more of an authentic Mexican experience, and you know, especially if you're going along with your significant other, it's going to be a lot more chill, a lot more privacy, and I think a lot of us like that too. So now, what else is there to do in Acapulco besides hit the beach? Well, whenever I go to a beach city, all I want to do is go and lay on the beach and relax and chill. But Acapulco is a place por la fiesta. All right, it is crazy there. Keep in mind that Acapulco is only 4 hours away from Mexico City. And so many people, especially people even that I know here in Mexico City, all have places in Acapulco. It's almost like it's similar to a lake house to where I'm from. You know, in South Dakota, in the United States, everyone has lake houses around the city a couple hours away that they can go and spend the weekends on. Well, that is Acapulco here in Mexico. It's super cool. As I said, I went to stay with my friend whose family has a place there overlooking the beach, which was absolutely stunning. But again, Acapulco is a place where, especially on the holidays, the Mexican holidays, Easter, ¿qué más? Yahatiel.
El Día de la Independencia igual.
El Día de Independencia.
El Día del Niño.
¿Ah?
El Día del Niño.
El Día del
Niño.
Del Niño, okay. El Día del Niño, yeah?
Sí.
They go here to celebrate and to party, and I'm telling you that there is so many clubs, so many beach clubs, so many nightclubs. It is a crazy time if you want it to be in Acapulco. This coming from a guy who in college, I went to Cancun 4 straight years for spring break. And we don't have enough time to talk about all the craziness that took place then. But Acapulco, I think it almost ranks in comparison to Cancun in terms of the craziness and the party, but again, it's more of a budget place, so things are more affordable. But one club that I will recommend going to was a beach club called Hannah Sun Club. Unbelievable views overlooking all of the bays of Acapulco on both sides. It was super lit. We went at like 2 in the afternoon, tons of people partying, we got bottles, and I mean, the music was fire, the pool was amazing, the views were the best. The one thing that I will say is that it's a little bit younger crowd. So if you're my age, 28 or older, you're kind of on that borderline of being a little bit too old to be partying with those young kids. But if you got a crew with you, it's all good. You can buy a table and do your thing. But that was probably one of my favorite experiences in Acapulco, was going to the Hannah Sun Club. Nightclubs, I think we went to a club called Believe. We went to another club in Diamante Beach. Super lit. I mean, these clubs are packed, and especially if you go on weekends that are holidays where everyone goes, like, it's insane. So just be aware of that. As far as other things to do, like I said, we really didn't do that much else besides go to the beach and party. But the one thing we did do was go to La Quebrada, which is a famous cliff divers, where at all times of the day, they have cliff divers that are literally jumping hundreds of feet off cliffs into the water. And it actually looks pretty dangerous, and it definitely requires a lot of skill, which is what's exciting about it. There's a hotel that overlooks this big cliff area, so you can go there and eat, drink, and enjoy the views. We went at nighttime, and so it was really cool. They lit up the water, lit up the cliffs. We were eating and watching the cliff jumpers, which was cool. The food is a little bit more expensive than normal for Mexico and Acapulco, and it was pretty subpar, to be honest. So if you go to the hotel, maybe just drink. But yeah, it was really cool to see that. And as I said, we didn't really do any other tourist stuff there besides eat like fat asses, cook. My friend has that beautiful house overlooking the bay, so we didn't really have to work too hard to have fun and relax. With Acapulco only being 4 hours from Mexico City, it's just too convenient not to take that beautiful drive from Mexico City to Acapulco, going through the rolling hills and the green. It's really, really beautiful, and it's so convenient, and it's so cheap. 4 hours and you're in this beautiful area with beautiful beaches. I mean, it's worth it, especially if you're stationed in Mexico City. Now, you have to understand what you're paying for. You're not paying to fly to Cabo or Cancun, and so the beaches aren't as nice as some of those other places, but it was awesome. It was a ton of fun, and I can guarantee you, if you go there, you will have an absolute blast. Now, I only have Cancun and Los Cabos here in Mexico to actually compare the beaches to. So those are obviously two amazing places and amazing beaches. So Acapulco does not rank as high on the list as those places. But if you're looking for a cheap weekend to get away, to go with your friends, to party like crazy and enjoy some sun, I highly recommend going to Acapulco. So the good news is that now that I'm living in Mexico, I'm gonna take advantage more of going to the beach. I'm going to Puerto Escondido in a few weeks, which should be fantastic. So you will have a video coming soon of comparing Puerto Escondido to Acapulco to the other beaches in Mexico. And so hopefully I can get to all the beaches in Mexico by the end of 2020. But guys, if you like this video, if you like my content, please hit subscribe, like this video. Let's keep exploring Mexican culture, exploring these adventures that I'm having here. Yo soy Will, nos vemos pronto amigos.